for families, like housing, education, and employment.
Run for Congress.
Become a Democrat.
They might as well. They'd be better.
Thank you.
We used to have state
I-
hospitals.
They wouldn't pander as much.
How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
Mentally ill is a big label. If you picked up the newspapers recently.
Trump derangement syndrome, very serious.
We have federal Judge Carter that's essentially saying, I'm going to force the local jurisdictions to build housing shelters.
And that's wrong.
I'm going to force Cal Optima to bring homeless medical services to the homeless. Otherwise,
Who's going to pay for it?
I'm going to come down on you. And I have to tell you, I was in Judge Carter's courtroom about 3 weeks ago, and I saw miracles happen. Judge Carter asked the Orange County supervisor there, he said, when will you have that shelter open in Santa Ana? And that supervisor said, I'll have it ready in a year, sir. And the judge said, a year is too long. It's not good enough. I want it before the winter rains come, the fall comes.
Who the hell is this judge?
Carter, I don't know.
Judge Carter
That's
asked
arrogant.
that supervisor from the county, what is it that's holding you up?
This is total lawlessness.
He said, the city of Santa Ana won't give us a permit. So Judge Carter then said, Mr. Santa Ana, Mr. Orange County, go to the side room, come out with a solution in 5 minutes. They came back and they said, Your Honor, we're gonna have that shelter open in 5 months. That's what you call cutting through bureaucracy.
I call that tyranny.
The other issue that we have before us
Judicial
is,
tyranny.
what do you do with the severely mentally ill? What do you do with the severely mentally violent ill?
Build a wall.
And what we are looking at doing is providing a shelter where you can help these individuals, hopefully get them back on their feet. Chances are it's going to be very difficult to do that. And that's where the issue the Fairview Center comes in, which is Judge Carter, very interesting guy. He said, look, I went out and I talked to all the police agencies in Orange County. Each chief told me they have about 10 of those individuals. 10 times about 20 cities says 200. That I need 200 beds. Fairview can put 200 beds there, at least temporarily till we get them off the streets. A lot of those individuals are going to have long-term challenges. So when you deal with the homeless, it's like peeling an onion, one layer at a time. Another big issue that I've worked on for probably 20 years is homeless, mentally ill, the stigma surrounding the mentally ill. Statistics show that 1 out of every 3 of us will have severe mental challenges in our life. So we have to make sure we
If you're a
acknowledge
Democrat.
them, get the proper care, and move ahead. Another issue that we can talk about are veteran suicides.
Yes.
Way too
Let's
many
focus on the veterans.
So
Yes.
what we want to do is start by
America
making sure that
first.
those veterans have the services that they need
Right.
after they leave the service. And I'll be more than happy to talk to you about what we're doing, because I have been serving on the Veterans Affairs Committee. That's the one place in Washington nobody talks about. Last year, we passed 70 bills. 25 of those bills were signed into law, and 2 of those were mine.
Thank you, President.
Derangement syndrome.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Will you sign on to HR 1384, Jayapal, Medicare for All?
Of
Oh,
course you will.
Move. Socialism.
oh my God.
Oh, man, no.
Let me-
He voted against single payer, so that's good.
It's going to take a little bit of time to answer this one.
Oh,
Good God. Just say
I'm
yes.
proud
I
to
got 2
say that
minutes.
when I was in the state legislature a few years back, I was one of the individuals that voted and heavily supported bringing the Affordable Care Act to the state of California.
boo.
Didn't work. Well, it's not working. You know what my premiums are?
But it wasn't done. It wasn't done. The ruler that you compare plans to is Medicare.
Scam.
Medicare took about 65 years to get there. The Affordable Care Act was probably about 6-7 years old when President Trump decided he wanted to go another way.
Thank God. Thank
That was better,
Good choice.
cheaper, and he's not going
What
to
did that
present
guy
his
say about it?
plan
He did.
until after the next re-election. So we'll see.
He is going to get reelected. Thank you.
So
2020, right here.
I believe that health care for all of us needs to be a priority.
Sure.
All of us need to have health care one way or the other. Because the most
Free market.
expensive form of health care that we have today is called the emergency room.
Yep.
And the number one
For illegal
reason,
aliens.
the number one reason families are declaring bankruptcy today
Yep.
is because of health care bills.
Yep.
Health care is an issue.
Yep.
That's
We're going to be
Obamacare.
attacking it from working on the issue of prescription drug pricing, transparency, focusing on the cost drivers. But, sir, not to evade your question, but to answer directly,
Yes or
I
no?
believe we need to get to Medicare for all.
Oh.
How are you gonna pay for it? How are you gonna pay for
Let me
it?
finish. I'm gonna get
How are you
your
gonna pay
money's
for it?
worth, okay?
How are you gonna pay for that? Just tell us how you're gonna pay for
People
it.
on Cobra.
I signed up for the first bill 2 years ago as a co-author, okay? This year, I pulled back, and I have not signed up as a co-author for the Judicial bill, and I'm probably not going to at this point. We're looking at 3 options right now when it comes to healthcare.
Free market.
Actually 4, and I'll get to the 4th one. Fix the Affordable Care Act,
Nope.
Never happened.
do the Judicial bill,
Boo.
or take an intermediary step.
No.
just a step in that direction.
Repeal it.
Or the 4th is, just let the Affordable Care Act continue to essentially.
It's unaffordable.
How about the 5th? Repeal it.
Let it die.
And continue to have the present situation, which is
Repeal it.
no health care,
That's a lie.
other than those people that go out and buy their private health
That's
care.
how it works.
That's
what I do.
That's the way
That's how it works.
we're
Pay for
gonna get
mine.
But
Híjole,
as
mano.
I said to
Can
you,
you give me a puppy
my
too?
first preference right now, my first preference as a policymaker is to work on fixing the Affordable Care Act. The other issue with the
That's a
Judicial bill
scam.
that we're trying to address right now is what happens to individuals that maybe don't want to be part of the Affordable Care Act. Do you
It's
want
not
to keep
affordable.
private health care? And
Obama
how does that
promised.
work when it comes to the Judicial bill? So those are public policy issues, and that's why when I'm asked to take a position in some of these bills, I have to think things through very clearly, because these are not little, these are huge public policy issues that we have to work through and come up with a solution.
If you like your
Now,
doctor,
I will
you
tell
can
If you
you,
like your doctor,
you know,
keep it.
As a quick commercial for all of you, I think probably, if I think of what's going on in the Senate, Congress, the President, we'll probably do
Guys put up candidates, lip seats. They're bringing
drug
socialism
pricing.
to California.
Yes.
We will probably do infrastructure.
Please.
And that'll probably be what probably gets accomplished. We're pushing hard to do the other issues, and we'll have to see. As you know, President Trump actually spearheaded juvenile justice reform.
Yes, he did.
And he may be looking at, he needs to work with us to do the infrastructure bill. Looks like
ready.
he wants to address the issue of drug pricing as well.
He's already working on
And
it.
we'll see what else. He also wants to do some work on the Dreamers. I know.
Build the wall.
Jared Kushner is leading, spearheading a move right now. Can you open the door? It sure is hot in here. Or is it just me?
You're sweating. You're not hot.
These are very contentious issues.
So,
How do you think I'm gonna feel?
you know, that may be an issue, immigration reform. And as I told you, a lot of the Republicans in the Sun states want immigration reform. They
Legal.
want the workers.
Legal.
So that may be an issue.
Build the wall.
That we will also address. The next
You could
question.
build the wall and do the thing.
Eliminate
Stop
asylum
it.
seekers.
Stop out now. Take out a chair. and put it in front. Thank you.
Okay, the next question asks, the service dog program needs to be enforced